So if you work in the automotive industry, and I mean like Stellantis, Ford, GM, you live in Detroit, maybe Ohio, you live in any basically UAW or other union-backed manufacturing for auto. The video I'm going to make for you today should scare the ever-loving S out of you, because there is no job security in this industry. Your leadership at your unions have allowed this. Let me just give you some facts and some numbers, and then be worried. What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. And I'm going to primarily talk about Stellantis today, but I'm talking about the auto industry as a whole. This has been going on for a while, okay? This isn't a party issue. This has happened with Reagan and Bush and Clinton and Bush and Obama and Trump and now Biden. This has been a constant thing in the auto industry, no matter who the president has been. It doesn't matter, okay? Both parties have been selling out auto workers. Facts, facts, and facts. So, Stellantis has made some moves here recently they're trying to move ICE production, that's internal combustion engine production, out of the United States. They want to move it to Canada and Mexico and Egypt and other places because it costs them too much money, they say. But they're using BS excuses like, oh, but we're replacing these internal combustion engine products with EVs. Oh, man. You know what? And it makes me laugh because every time I get into a forum or I talk with people that actually work for some of these unions, they just take what the leadership tells them hook, line, and sinker, not knowing that they're being sold out. Let me give you some numbers. So in 1980, actually it's like, I think they took, the numbers come from like December of 79, but I'm going to call it 1980, okay? There were 1.6, actually 1.5982, so almost 1.6. 1.6 million, with a big fat M, auto jobs. What if I told you today that there's less than 150,000? That would blow your mind, right? Well, over the years, they've done things like robotics, and now there's AI. So a lot of the stuff when it comes to styling and other stuff, it's not even going to be done by humans anymore. A robot is going to design the cars that you're going to drive in the future. Crazy, right? How about manufacturing? As they're able to get AIs more, I don't want to say sentient, but more smart to control robots, it's going to take more and more jobs. But think about that. From 1980 to today, 1.5 million to 150,000. Now, just in the last 4 years, not even 4, let's say 3 years, the auto manufacturing industry, workers, union jobs, if you're a union guy and this matters to you, has lost over 40,000 jobs. 40,000. In fact, I think a majority of those jobs have come under Shawn Fain, the UAW president. Wait a minute. I thought your job was to protect Protect union jobs. Isn't that what the job is supposed to be? Aren't you supposed to protect union members? I'm lost here. I'm trying to figure this isn't computing in my brain. This doesn't make any sense to me. This guy's doing almost as good as a job as the union president as Carlos Tavares is destroying Stellantis. These guys are two peas in a pod. How do you lose? Let's just look at the numbers, right? Let's say you had 200,000 auto worker jobs when you came in as president of the union. Now you got 150,000. What? That is a massive loss. That's like Carlos Tavares coming in, taking over. You're the CEO of Stellantis, and you lose 50% of your profits in a quarter. What? These guys are like this. They're two dum-dums. Oh. But it gets worse. So since Sean Fain has been the president at UAW, you've lost over 40,000, almost 40,000 auto jobs, right? Now they're going to put EVs in the place of these internal combustion engine cars. I don't know if you know this or not, but EVs don't take a ton of skilled labor. They take about between 38 to 52%, depending on the size of the vehicle, 38 to 52% less workers to build over an internal combustion engine vehicle. Less parts, less skilled labor needed. What does that mean? I'll wait for it. Ding! Less jobs. That's what it means. Less jobs for you guys that live in Detroit, that live in Ohio, that live in South Carolina, all the places that manufacture these cars. Less jobs, less shifts. How's that contract working out for you? It's just insane. Not to mention that, because, unions are looking great, but not to say that union presidents don't ever get involved in politics. They do. It happens every single election cycle. But you had Sean Fain coming out saying crazy stuff about the issues that are going on with Israel and Palestine. Why would you ever come out and say some wild ass stuff like that? Why would you even put yourself in that conversation? You make cars. You're supposed to be the union president for people that manufacture vehicles. Shut up. Nobody wants to hear your leanings on what you think in that regard. Now, it looks like, and I don't know if it's going to happen, but somebody had sent me something I saw on Facebook here recently, and it looks like he's looking at millions in a lawsuit by the Anti-Defamation League in New York. And you have a whole chapter of your own union that won't even respond to you. What? This is ridiculous. Carlos Tavares needs to be fired and move the hell out of Stellantis. And Sean Fain needs to be removed as president of the UAW. If those two things don't happen, at least when it comes to Stellantis jobs, you can kiss those goodbye. Book it, guarantee. I bet money on it. I either buy or short Stellantis. I do it on a regular basis. I'm always very transparent. I currently don't have any position with the company. But every time I said I was going to short it, I've been right. And I've made a ton of money shorting their stock because they're an idiot. If I had the ability, if UAW was a public company, I would short it. The reason why I'm saying this is because the leadership at the union right now is incompetent. I've gone over the contract. I sent it to my attorney, David, right? So look at this. Tell me if you see any loopholes. 6 that he found. So how are you supposed to have the best interest of the members and you have this historic contract that has loopholes in it? Unless you sold your membership out and you did that on purpose. Soccer. I don't believe in coincidences. That's just me. Sorry. I've worked in intelligence for over 20 years, and I've been in some of the biggest S-holes in the world. And I can tell you right now, looks like collusion to me. How do you come in as the president, supposed to protect jobs? You keep selling this biggest contract that you've ever done in history, yet you've lost over 40,000 jobs since you've been president. You got 150,000 maybe left. Ford just cut 1,000. Stellantis is cutting those 2,500 at Warren. Toledo works sometimes. They keep having parts issues, but we already know that it's not a parts issue. It's an inventory issue. That's why I said, and I stand on it, if Carlos Tavares doesn't get fired or removed as the CEO of Stellantis, and you get somebody in there that has some common friggin' sense about the North American market, it's over. And you don't remove Sean Fain as your union president, it's over. Because they're both selling you out. Getting you excited about building EVs, yeah, they're getting you excited. But I can tell you this, if you don't have a ton of seniority at the union right now, and I mean like a lot, I don't know how many years it would be because I don't understand. I understand the union from the Teamsters aspect because my grandfather did it when I was a kid, you know, my father as well with the Teamsters. But I can't tell you how much seniority you should have, but I'm willing to bet it's going to come down to like 15 years or something insane. Like you're almost getting ready to retire type of seniority because then they're going to cut your ass loose. With this EV thing, it's over. If they get rid of all the internal combustion engine building in the United States, cars, and you're building EVs, that 150,000 number of workers, you can cut that down to like 60,000 auto workers. Think about that. From 1.5 million in 1980 to 60,000. We call that extinction. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Look, I don't want this to happen. I'm just looking at it as a strictly numbers guy. As somebody that invests his money and does, I'm looking at it and going, yeah, y'all are screwed. But at least from the workers aspect, you guys have an ability to make that change if you need to. And I would highly recommend it. And for you guys that are investors, if you have a position in Stellantis, it's time to push Carlos Tavares out. Just my 2 cents. Stay petty, my friends.